Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Sarah Taylor. I am a skincare and makeup education professional. I have my own company. It's not MLM. I feel like I have to say that a lot lately. It's just education. I don't sell you anything. I wanted to dedicate this video to, this idea has been on my mind a lot lately. Just because I've been spending so much time out here. And I mentioned this in that shifting gears video that I did a little bit ago about just how, you know, interested I am in gardening and landscaping and growing food and kind of the road I find myself going down, right? But I wanted to circle back and talk about some lessons that I've already learned. Life lessons. You know, it's funny because you think you know what direction your life is going to go in, right? You think you know everything. More than likely, it's not going to go that way. And it's funny to me because I feel like gardening has, just in the couple of months that I've been doing it, has taught me a lot. And it's made me really look in the mirror on a couple of things. You know what I mean? Like finally, like, oh, this is how this sticks. This is how I learned this lesson. Intro to gardening, life lesson. And you know, you can chalk this up to it being my birthday time frame, and you know, I get really introspective, and I tend to take stock a lot around my birthday. Like, am I where I wanted to be? You know, am I happy? What else could I be doing? You know, you're kind of editing, right? You're doing like a pantry edit of your life. It's making me really think about things I hadn't actually thought, I hadn't expected gardening to do, or to, you know, to kind of introduce me to. And it's interesting when you're new, because you find yourself, I think, kind of regardless of your personality type, you find yourself having to do things, and how you react to those tasks, that's more aligned to your personality. But I find it very interesting how a lot of new gardeners, you know, you either get overwhelmed with how much you have to do, or you know, it sticks or it doesn't stick, or you get annoyed because it didn't come up or whatever, right? But for me, for somebody who has fallen in love with it and who has really kind of run with it and has a lot of plans for it, I wanted to kind of share the life lessons that I've already learned, and just to kind of let this be a bit more of a cerebral video, if you will. So I think the first thing that I kind of realized was, like in life, this will not go according to plan. You're gonna plant something and it's not gonna come up, or you know, something that you literally forgot about. Like I planted something, none of it came up. I pulled the planter marker and I have this beautiful stalk of something that I don't know what it is, and it hasn't flowered, but it's this gorgeous like stemmed thing, and I'm like, I don't know. But it is, you know, interesting how, as in life, nothing goes according to plan. And you know, you can be positive or negative about that. Personally, I don't mind change, but what I have noticed is that how it makes you change, like how it makes you, it's okay to pivot. It's okay that it didn't go. I am somebody who, my nature, I'm a combo of art and science. So I'm a bit more clinical in how I approach things. But I have a ton of creativity, and I am very visual, and I'm very physical. So I need to actually do it, right? I can't sit there and I can't read about it. I can't hear about it. I can, but it's just not going to stick the same way. So it's kind of introduced me to a much more, you know, short, mid, long game, depending on what you're planting, approach to being flexible and pivoting and adjusting. And it's interesting for me, it taught me already how to approach failure, because I've got a weird thing about failure. I don't like failing. I don't think anybody does, but like, it bothers me a lot. But the thing with gardening is the turnover from that can be so quick. So you can apply that to life, like every day, right? Every day is an opportunity to be a success. And I think with this, something that I really love about it already is that even if it doesn't go the way you wanted it to go, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a failure. There's all these reasons that aren't you specifically that could have contributed to that. And that is a life lesson that I think a lot of folks in my generation, and I'm a millennial, but I think a lot of us were taught, at least where I'm from, my upbringing, all that kind of stuff, we were not taught that it's other factors. We were taught that it's us. We're not good enough. So I think for me, it's already really calmed all those things down, and it's given me motivation to continue to come back and show up. And it's like a relationship. You have to show up. You have to be present. You have to fight for it. You have to try. You have to tend to it. You've got to nurture it. You've got to talk and be positive and communicate and all that stuff. And, you know, and then what you get in return, like a healthy relationship, is just this limitless source of joy and motivation and potential. So it's interesting how, you know, a hobby suddenly becomes a form of therapy. And it encourages me, especially me being as creative as I am, it really encourages me to play and to experiment. I'm very tunnel visioned, as like just by my nature. I'm super goal oriented, and I tend to get very tunnel visioned because of that. And Jeremy's been, for as long as I've known him, he's like, no, he's very broad and vague, right? He's like, you just try it and see how it goes. And then if it goes this way, it goes this way. And I'm not like that. But this has actually taught me that, right? Because you're like, oh, that didn't go how I wanted it to. Okay, let me try this, you know? And it's kind of cool. And it's given me permission to have the big, vague dreams. It's okay to dream big. Everybody says that, but like the vague dream, that I don't quite know how to get there dream, gardening really is kind of like walking in the dark, you know, because even if you have every resource available to you, Mother Nature may not want to cooperate that year, or, you know, something may happen, right? And it just has, you almost have to keep it vague because you just don't know. And then in line with that, if you're somebody who hates not knowing, gardening will teach you that it's okay to not know. You know, yeah, you might have a germination date, and yeah, you might have like a, you know, harvest, maturity, whatever you want to call it, time frame. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. You know, it may take 2 more weeks. Who knows? The heat has stunted like a whole bunch of my stuff because it's 100 degrees out here. So not a whole lot thrives in that. But you got to keep it alive. You got to keep it healthy. And then when the heat breaks, you'll have whatever you planted, hopefully, until frost. And I think, you know, just keeping it really chill, like staying calm about it, you know, is really, it's interesting to me because I started off being like, this is what I'm gonna do, like very clinical, right? Very scientific. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I need this kind of ratio. Everything was a ratio. Everything was optimization. He's all about optimizing things and engineering solutions for me. And then within, what has it been, 3 months? 2.5 months since I actually got to planting, but 3-ish, I don't know, however long it's been since I really started doing it. It's been that quickly that I realized, no. Like, yeah, there are things that they need, you know, depending on what we're talking about here. Like, certain plants need this, certain plants need that. So those are pretty low-hanging solutions, but then there's just a whole bunch of other factors that you can't control. So if you're a bit of a control freak, it calms you down. And if you're not, you know, I said this in another video, if you're creative, especially like a painter, if you do a job that requires you to be creative, that creativity, you can't always turn it on, you know? Or especially if you physically create something, if you're familiar at all with like, I got this, oh no I don't, I got it, no I don't, I got it, no I don't. It is very similar to that. You get very familiar with the unknown. And it just kind of calms you down. And I noticed that a lot with just, you know, I'm so to-do list focused and goal oriented, and that's just my nature. I've always had to work a ton. And so I've just always had a long list of shit I gotta get done. And by nature, you're just checking stuff off. So I was thinking about, you know, just, you want to talk about, like, yeah, you have chores that you got to do. Like, there's pruning and there's weeding and then there's like fertilizing and whatever it is you got to get done. But then there's also just, yeah, I don't know, you know, like, we're going to see how this goes. This might suck. And being okay with that. So I think another huge thing for me that I'm learning in doing all my research is we have these huge plans for a forever home with, I mean, he really wants acreage, and, you know, we're we've got really, really clear ideas about some of the major things that we want. And as I've gone further down this road, I've realized that, like, I don't see anybody else doing it the way we want to do it. You know, I'm not necessarily talking about being like a full-blown homesteader, because I don't want to have like cow, I don't want to have dairy, I don't want to have, you know what I mean? I just don't have a lifestyle that's conducive to that. And we don't plan on having a lifestyle. We travel way too much. Well, not during a pandemic. We travel a ton. There's just a ton of factors that, you know, when you have a farm with animals on it, you've got to revise that, and we don't want to. And then on top of that, we like restaurants, and we like going out, we like supporting local businesses. So I don't have a need to necessarily provide 100% of our food. I'd like to provide 50% of the food that we consume at home, but not like replacing going out. But it's been interesting, because in doing all my research, I don't see anybody else doing what I want to do. You know, they haven't married everything that I am and want to do as one yet. So I feel like it's really given me permission to enter a field that I'm very new at, because it's not oversaturated. And at least from what I've seen, there isn't anybody doing it the way I want to do it. There hasn't been anybody marrying permaculture with landscape design, with, you know, being bougie. You know, he said to me last night, because I think I make him nervous, because I was like watching like a preserving, like food preservation videos, and he was like, he gets really nervous because he's like, are we going to be eating like sauerkraut? Because neither one of us do that. And I'm like, no, like I want to have good food kept. Like I want to learn how to make. And so it's funny, because he's like, you know, we're still bougie people. We're still luxe people. We still want the nice things. And it's like, it's all in the vein of like, they almost go down the road of self-sufficiency. It seems to be a very big trend that you go down the road of sustainability and self-sufficiency so you can stretch your dollar. And that's really not what we're caring about. We just want to have just like a kick-ass house. And just like, I just think it'd be so cool to have like a bar and like an outdoor kitchen and like a pool, and like we're gonna have a whole thing. And then, oh, I can go pick pineapple, I can go pick jalapeno, I can make pineapple jalapeno cocktails, you know, for the friends for the summer, or like pick strawberries and have strawberry daiquiris. You know what I mean? Like I want to fuse things, and still like garden with my nails once I can go back to the nail salon. And I'm gonna be out here with my weave once I get my hair done again, and all that kind of stuff, right? And I haven't seen anybody doing it the way, kind of more out of a necessity than it is a want. Like I just want to do this, but I don't want to give up the modern conveniences and the luxuries of everyday life that I've come to just make a part of my life, right? Like I don't feel bad about that. So yeah, so I'm kind of excited to just pursue that with my channel, and I'm excited to explore you know, this path that I'm on more, and then also just share it with you, you know, because I feel like I haven't seen anybody else doing it. Again, like I haven't seen anybody else doing it the way I do it. And not necessarily, and that's not even like because somebody else is doing it, I shouldn't. It's just more about, I can't be the only one. I just wanted to kind of give a video to shine some light on, you know, some of the perks of gardening, some of like the little therapy sessions that you have with yourself outside, because it really is such a rewarding thing to do, and it really is just so calming and so fulfilling, and you just are so proud of yourself, you know what I mean? Like you got purpose. And then the byproduct is you get beautiful landscaping or cut flower arrangements or food or whatever it is that you're growing. You get to reap the benefits of that. You get to bask in the beauty of it. So yeah. So if this encourages you to maybe plant something, go for it. You know, I haven't gotten into houseplants yet, but I found a planter that I really want. So but it's 3D printed. So Jeremy's got like 3 different 3D printers, so he's gonna make me some. So yeah, anyway. All right, y'all. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see y'all very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.